we're gonna make dried citrus. I'm sure you've seen the orange slices that you can make garlands of or put them on wreaths. And I decided to do lemons and limes because I didn't have any oranges. You could do grapefruit, you can do pink grapefruit. Blood orange comes out really, really pretty. But basically you slice your citrus up, you dry it, and then you can use it for all kinds of holiday decor. So this morning I sliced my citrus. Let me show you what one looks like. So there's a lime and here's a lemon. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can do them in a dehydrator. Obviously, if you have it, you can air dry them, but it takes weeks. I did them in the oven. I put the oven at 175, and I think it was a little bit too high. So if your oven goes even lower than 175, I would do that. Just put your oven on as low as it'll go. Then you can either put the slices, well, you want to slice your citrus thin. You don't want it too thin because it'll burn. So maybe like a 1/4 inch thick. Then you can either put your citrus slices on a cookie drying rack, metal rack, or parchment paper on your cookie sheet. I tried it both ways. I think on the wire rack dried a little bit faster, which makes sense because the air is going on the top and the bottom. The parchment isn't quite as dry, so it needs a little bit more time. These were in for about 3.5 hours. And I would definitely let them still dry overnight to let them dry a little bit more. You could definitely do them in a toaster oven. I don't think you can microwave them. I did flip them every hour, and in a lot of the instructions I read, it said to leave the oven open for a couple minutes each hour to let the moisture come out. So it's a good idea to take them out and flip them. Some of them did get a little bit too dark, and some of them just came out just perfect. So I would say 3 to 4 hours at 175 or lower, 1/4 inch slices of any kind of citrus that you want to make these cute little slices. So then what you can do with them, if you have some twine and an embroidery needle, here's what you do. So you take your slice and you just put the needle through and you put it through the other side like that, and then string it through. And I'm going to tie a loop now. They're really pretty, like if you hang them on a window, you know, because the sunlight will catch them. They almost look like stained glass, sort of. Okay, so I've got my lime strung here. Then you can put things like, got this fresh rosemary that I've been growing. So you can take your rosemary and just tie the twine around the stems of the rosemary, like that. And then you can go ahead and do another through one side, through the other side. These are nice because you can put them outside. A lot of wild birds will eat citrus. You know, so you might attract some wild birds to your yard who want to nibble on the citrus and the rosemary, actually. And if you wanted to put these in your chicken coop, if you wanted to like give your chickens a Christmas tree, they're probably not going to eat it. And if they did, it wouldn't be a big deal. So, whoops. So anyway, whoops, my one rosemary went a little bit crazy here. But anyway, you get the idea of the citrus, the rosemary, and just keep stringing them, alternating. Between them, you could put little beads. You could put berries. We couldn't find cranberries. I'm really kind of bummed out because I had some crafts. I wanted to make homemade cranberry sauce, and I had some other crafts. We can't find cranberries anywhere for some odd reason. So anyway, so a garland like this is just the simplest. This is something that, you know, even little kids could do with their embroidery needle and twine. You could even use like pretty holiday ribbon or something to make your garland. You can put the slices on wreaths. They make really pretty wreath decoration. Or here I just have a container filled with evergreen boughs and some pine cones. And you can just set your citrus slices like this. And it makes just like a really pretty table decoration. I think the citrus just kind of brightens everything up in the winter. So there you go. So that is today's craft. Dried citrus garlands. Like I said, grapefruits, oranges, blood orange, lemons, limes, whatever you want to do. And they almost look like stained glass if you hang them in the windows. But under 175 degrees for 3 or 4 hours in the oven. A couple people have commented that you can use a dehydrator. If you have a dehydrator, you absolutely can do that. And I've also read you can air dry them, but it probably takes like weeks and weeks and weeks.